How many of us believe in the work smarter, not harder rule? I was fighting this for years and years and years, and I thought that working harder and harder and harder and grafting my whole life, I thought I'm being super productive. And what I was really doing was just being busy without actually making any brilliant changes in my life. I was just working and grafting and really staying static in my whole life. And it has really created a situation where I got frustrated, I got burnt out, and I felt I couldn't progress any further. If you want to know a little bit more about burning out and about how I managed to overcome that burnt out feeling and burnt out moments, watch this video. You're sure to find some very interesting content in there. So this week I want to turn it around in showing you how I've converted my whole life around by changing it to having a minimalist week. And then I want to show you a little bit more behind the scenes of my content, my calendar, what goes on in my current calendar. And I'm sure that you're going to find some use of this, because I was once like you. If you have been working, constantly grafting, not knowing how you're going to manage all your tasks during your days and actually being super busy instead of being productive, you're going to find some really decent content in this video. If you are excited about this video, do hit the like, subscribe, and don't forget the bell to get notified every time I upload a video online. If we haven't met before, my name is Anita Hori. I am founder of Anita Hori Academy, a Pilates teacher training academy, and I am also a Pilates business mentor. I'm also a mentor for wellness providers, wellness teachers, and wellness providers. So I'm helping people create their dream businesses without the stress, without the hustle, without the hassle. So to really live and build their dream life. So going back to my productivity plan, my plan always starts the week before. So it could either be done on a Saturday or a Sunday. I normally take approximately about an hour on a Saturday or a Sunday just to look at the schedule for the following week, and I know that I don't need to fret and stress and be super uptight if there's things in my schedule that I can't cope with and I can't handle. So let's have a quick look at my productivity week. Let's have a look at my plan for the week. So I generally plan my week on Google Calendar. I find this very helpful, very useful. I've got other systems in place to run my business. Of course, my business schedule is run on a different system. I don't use Google Calendar for that. So for example, the Pilates Studio has got the application Get Timely, which works extremely well. It's a booking app, and it serves the studio much better than having the schedule here for me, because at the end of the day, I want to have a schedule that incorporates my private time and my business time. So this part of this schedule actually incorporates my personal time, my free time, my teaching time, my coaching time, and any content creation as well. So this is all included. This is my planner for the week. So as I said, either on either day of the weekend, what I'm doing is first of all, the first thing I do, so just to give you a little bit of an idea on the color coding, the green is personal stuff. So it's stuff that I'm doing for myself. And that would include meditation, doing Pilates, reading, maybe doing yoga, dog walking even. That's all personal stuff. So if you see that through the week, you see a lot of personal stuff. So that's really good. I'm actually prioritizing my own time before I even put any clients or any work in. Then if we're looking at the purple stuff, this is more about my leadership meetings. So generally these are breakfast meetings, and I have those on a Monday and a Wednesday. And just to give you an idea, I try to be super efficient with my times, and I use days when I'm at the studio. I make sure that I only do studio work. And if I have to put in a coaching call, I make sure that My coaching client sees me. Of course, most of the time they're online, actually all of the time they're online. And my client sees me when I'm at the studio. So I make sure that I don't allocate any clients, anything else, and just see the client at the studio. So if you see, Mondays and Wednesdays are my teaching times at the studio. So the blue sections here are my teaching times, physical teaching times at the studio. And that might also incorporate any online sessions that I give. So I've got some online clients that I teach around the world, and I also incorporate their times and their session within these 2 times. And then my Tuesdays and my Thursdays are generally my coaching days. And also my content creation days. So when you see the yellow parts are actually coaching and content creation. And if I have time, and this is, you know, the schedule is quite flexible when I know that everything can move, everything is flexible. So, you know, I mentioned that I start the day with Pilates and with meditation and Pilates, or maybe yoga, but I don't have to do it like that. If I have to have a business meeting, or if I have to have a strategy call, or if I have a coaching client, for example, if I'm working with people from Australia, I need to make sure that I'm working early in the morning. In that case, I make sure that I move that time to maybe later on in the day, but I do make sure that I still have that session during the day. I am very much a morning person when it comes to dealing with my own needs. So I feel that doing my work, doing my personal time in the morning, I feel like I'm getting it out of the way. So I get that content out of there. I'm very much a visual person. I need to see the things that I have to do. I need to see my tasks. So if I have it right in front of me and I know it's there and I've done it, I kind of tick it off, and it makes me feel really good because I know that I've achieved it. And if you are like me, having a schedule like this is really going to help you plan your day, plan your week, plan your month, and also plan your year. So going back to the schedule where we've got the yellows and strategy calls and content creation, as I said, if I've got days like, for example, this week, I have got 2 days. So the Monday and the Wednesday are normally studio days, but I've actually got 2 coaching calls, and purely because this weekend I'm going away. So because I'm going away, I wanted to make sure that I move my coaching clients to days where I'm supposed to be at the studio, and that gives me enough time to relax and enjoy myself when I'm going away. So in fact, when you look at my Friday calendar, so this strategy call has to be moved, and also my facial treatment has to be rescheduled for another day. But another huge thing that I want to clarify here is that I really make sure that once a week I do a treatment of some sort, just to give me that extra boost, and it'll help me re-energize. And, you know, I talk a lot about this in this video over here. You'll see that this video over here is going to talk a lot more about how you need to be planning and strategizing your week if you want to be more productive, rather than just being busy during your week and actually getting zero done. Okay, so going back to the schedule, we're looking at having quite a few blank spaces still. Now, this is quite a busy week for me this week. I don't normally have so much colors in my schedule. I normally have a lot of freer space because I want to make sure that I have enough time to be able to fill in with any other exceptional things that crop up during the week. Now, if you remember, in this particular video, I also talk about busy times and about busy tasks and about dumping tasks that are not going to serve us. So anything that is superfluous in your schedule, you need to make sure that you get rid of. You need to make sure that you either delegate it or subcontract it out, or completely cross it off your schedule. If it's not important, just make sure you dump it. So that's why it's super important to have a list of priority items that you are super religious about filling every single day, every single week, and during the month. Now, as I mentioned, the schedule looks pretty busy, and you can see that there's a lot of busyness in the schedule with a lot of green stuff. That is my own personal stuff, even things like dog walking. And if I feel that maybe it's too hot for me to take the dog for a walk during this time, especially now that it's still summer, then I'll move that dog walk session and I'll take it back right to the end of the day. But I make sure that I still take my poor Monty out because he really deserves his walk. Now, you know that week by week, the schedule is going to change, but I've got a good agenda. And what I normally do then at the end of the week is I go through the items that were super priority items. So if, for example, by Sunday, now at the end of the week, I'm going to go through it. And if I'm going to review it on Saturday or Sunday, whichever day that might be, I want to go through the priority items. Now, I know this week, some of my priority items are my strategy coaching, because we are discussing the planning for the teacher training for January. So September is my teacher training planning month. And these are very important tasks for me. They're my priority items. So I am going to rate that. I'm going to see how I fared during the week. Did I manage to get my tasks done? So on the Saturday and Sunday, I'm really going to make sure that I look at whether I've managed to achieve the tasks, and I rate it. I give it a rating between 1 to 10. And if I feel that it's really gone well and we've managed to achieve the things we've planned to achieve as a team, and we've really done well, we've got the content sorted out, we've got the video sorted out, and you know, it's been a really good week when it comes to that, then I'm going to give it a high rating. Another strategy, another priority item might be a personal thing. So if I've managed to do my meditation and my working out every single day, I'm going to give myself a high rating because I know that I've committed to myself. If I've had a super hard week, or maybe I've not been feeling great, then I'm going to give that rating, that particular personal activity, a low rating. But obviously there's a reason for that. And I'm not going to get beating myself about it, but I am going to establish that, analyze it, and accept it. And I know that I'm going to have to work harder the following week. So I kind of tend to choose 3 items that I really focus on, as I mentioned, my personal life, my business, and there's also my spiritual life. So if I haven't managed my meditation, or if I haven't done a good deed during the week, I always make sure that there's something that I do every single day. I need to make sure that I do a good deed, whatever it might be. You know, it could be that I'm just helping out a friend, or maybe even if I know that I have to help a teacher create some content and I'm not charging them for it, that's absolutely no problem, because that's my good deed. And I feel that that's how we evolve in society, by giving. And I am a giver, and I have absolutely no problem in giving away content for free. That's, at the end of the day, that's what I'm doing in this video as well. So I have those 3 things that I really prioritize. So as I said, my personal life, my business, and my spiritual life. And if I haven't achieved it right, and I've not given the right rating for that particular week, I know that I need to plan the following week differently to emphasize working on that particular part of my life that I need to work on. So if I haven't had a really good week spiritually, then I really need to make sure that I add more meditation, I add more giving, I add more community work, and maybe I create a lot more content for you guys. Just make sure that I feel that I am fulfilling my life. Because at the end of the day, guys, you know that money is not really what makes us happy. That money is just the result of what we do to make us happy. But at the end of the day, what fulfills our life is our spirituality. And I am a firm believer of this. So if I'm looking at perhaps similar tasks that I need to do during the week, I might as well just bunch them together and put them in on one particular day. I might also look at clearing. If I notice that on the Sunday or the Saturday, the day that I'm running my schedule for the following week, and I notice that I'm going to get a super busy week doing similar things, then what I might do is, the first thing I want to do is clear any items on my list that I know I can delegate or I can completely eliminate from my schedule. The second thing is that I can bunch up these tasks that are similar, put them together, make sure that I eliminate them from my schedule as soon as I can. And if I can rinse and repeat on some of the tasks, I'll make sure to do that so that it really frees up a lot more time in my schedule. And the other thing that I do is really look at how important, what priority every single task has during the week. So if I see that my week is super busy, then I really look at what's the urgency of this particular task. Can it wait another week? Can it wait 2 more weeks? Really look at prioritizing what is important in my schedule for that week. And if I can clear that week from that particular task, then I will, and I will postpone it another week. I am not saying that I'm not going to do it, but if I know that it's not super urgent, why should I go super crazy about trying to achieve something when it's just going to drive me nuts trying to achieve it when I've got other more important things to do in my schedule? And axing tasks is so important. It's so important, and really realizing and analyzing what is going to be productive for you rather than keeping you busy is going to help you create more, be a lot more successful in your business. It's going to really help you be more successful, more productive, more creative. You're going to have a lot more energy to bring ideas and tasks that are going to be meaningful to you for your business and for your personal life. So things like walking my dog at 11 a.m. in the morning, especially during summertime when I know that it's going to be super hot for him, I'm going to try and move it down to later on in the day. If I know that I can't do it, then I'm going to pay for somebody to go and take him for a walk. I'm also lucky enough to live in a place where there's lots of land, and if I know that I can just let him run around the land and not having to spend lots of time in walking him, then I'll make sure that I do that. Now, the final thing that I do is have my priority items on my whiteboard in my office. However, I used to have a whiteboard that I actually wrote on, and I had it stuck on the wall and I wrote it on my office. But what I started figuring out is that I could have some tasks on my schedule that would have changed during the day, and I would not be at the office. So what I would do is I would forget to write it on my whiteboard. So I'm finding that working on my phone is a lot easier. So I'm looking at my task list, and I do a task list on my phone, and then I cross every single item out. So my phone is essentially my whiteboard. So if you're comfortable with working with a whiteboard that you actually write on, that's fine. You can have it as visual so you can see it, and you can have it right in your home office, or if you have it in your studio, wherever. And just make sure you tick every single item off just to make sure that you're completing it, right? Completing every single task. My whiteboard now sits on my phone, and I do that through my phone. And it's a very simple and easy thing to do. And at the end of the day, I feel so relieved that all my tasks are done. So there's that sense of achievement, really amazing sense of achievement every single day. And then obviously I carry it through the week, and then I feel that huge sense of achievement during the week. So when it comes to that Saturday or Sunday when I'm planning the following week, I'm rating my tasks, I'm rating my priorities for the previous week. And this is something that I have learned from Robin Sharma, the author of The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Robin has been a real big inspiration in my life, and I'm so grateful for his work and his contribution to society. Now let's talk a little bit about Sunday, because I really didn't say much about Sunday. I know I mentioned that Saturday or Sunday. Generally, I do my planning for the following week on a Saturday, because I really don't want to be doing anything on the Sunday. And Sunday is so much my personal time. This is my day of rest. This is absolutely no work for me. I refuse to do any work. In fact, I try to keep Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays off. And if I have to do any work, I really trying to keep it on the Friday and the Saturday. And of course, a lot of work tends to spill onto Friday if I find that I'm going to have a super crazy week, because there's no point of me creating a super crazy Monday to Thursday when I know that I can spill some of the work, but I never actually work a full day on a Friday. Never actually work a full day on a Friday. And then on the Saturday or Sunday, I tend to do this planning for the following week. But religiously, I really try to keep my Sundays free. And those are my Sundays where I take my dog for longer walks, or we go to the beach, or I go on my kayak, or I go rock climbing, or I do something that is in nature that's going to fill my cup and that's going to help me re-energize to get ready for an amazing following week ahead. This is absolutely a religious task for me. There's no way that I'm going to take any work on a Sunday. I used to work on Sundays as well, so I can really appreciate taking the time off now. I don't even go to the shops here. I can't even do that in Spain, because in Spain the shops do not open on a Sunday unless it's in the summer, of course, when we've got a load of vacation people. But that really helps me. It really helps me just to completely disconnect. And I do lots more personal training. I do lots more exercise outdoors. And I also tend to connect with my family, with my friends. If it's in the winter, I get on long calls with my long distance friends. And maybe I plan my travel trips, my nice exciting trips abroad. And I really make sure that I connect with myself and with my family. So really creating a minimal work week when I'm being a lot more productive and less busy is going to help me really bring lots and lots more to the table. So I hope this has really resonated with you, and I hope that you have found some very interesting tips in there, and maybe you can start figuring out your own schedule for the week and see whether there's anything that you can get rid of, or maybe you can delegate, or maybe you can bunch together so that you can have a more productive week and a more productive business, and of course a more successful business. So if you are excited about this video, hit the like, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell. And if you know of anybody who would really benefit from watching this video, please do share it. Until my next video, goodbye guys.